G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a follow-up from my pre-raid guide that I made last week, and it is a tier 7 bis list for Assassination rogues. You guys seem to really enjoy the pre-raid version, so I thought I'd quickly follow up with an Assassination one, and a combat one will also follow shortly. If you would like to watch the pre-raid guide, you can click on the card that will be in one of the corners, or you can check it out in the description as well. As I did with the pre-raid guide, I am still using the Simonize spreadsheet, and I highly recommend, if you are planning on playing Rogue in Wrath, to definitely check out his sim. If you haven't heard of Simonize, he is a bit of the mastermind behind a lot of theory crafting. He makes an amazing sim that everyone has been using during Classic and TBC. So go support him. I'll put all his links in the description. Definitely go follow his YouTube channel and definitely join his Discord as well. Now, something that a lot of people won't clarify when they do bis lists is a few assumptions when simming things. The list that we've got here is simmed for a 3-minute fight, kind of patchwork style, full uptime, 83 level boss, that kind of thing. And it's assuming full raid buffs as well. It might not apply for your unique guild, but for the sake of simming, we've got all that checked, and that's something that's great about the Simonize spreadsheet. You can do all those kind of things and tailor it to your raid if you know what your comp's going to be like. Okay, from the top, we've got the tier 7 25-man version of the tier. And yes, to address the elephant in the room, we are running 4-piece tier 7. It is simming the highest right now. Don't shoot the messenger, I just report the results to you guys. But again, I can't imagine the sim being too far out of the way. But I will present an alternative for those who would prefer not to run tier. Don't know why that would be the case, but of course I will present you the information as I find it. Yes, we are using the Relentless Earthstorm Diamond from TBC. Still the best. We're using a prismatic gem, which is new in Wrath. It allows you to hit all the different colored gems all at once. So from just this gem alone, I hit all of my required gems to get the bonus, meta. Favor of the Dragon Queen drops off Malagos in Eye of Eternity. This is the 25-man version of the quest that starts from Saffron. There is a 10-man version, but again, it is not as good as the 25-man version. Obviously, this will be hard to get because only one person can get it at a time. So I will put, the alternative would be maybe Fool's Trial, for example. And again, your pre-raid option, again, is always a good choice as well. It's quite well started. Tier 7, Sons of Hodir shoulder enchant. But again, if you wear Aldor or Scryer, just whack that on there. The Sons of Hodir quest area may be very packed for a very long time. So again, not a huge loss, just going with the TBC enchant. We are gemming quite heavy for expertise. We are going for poison hit cap and expertise soft cap. I know there is a school of thought that expertise is bad on Assassination Rogue because if you're Envenom dodges or parries, you still get the Envenom buff, and that's true. And obviously quick recovery as well, so we're getting the energy back, so it's feels not so bad. But again, if you're dodging and parrying a lot on your auto attacks, it just means less poison procs. So we're getting 4 soft cap, which isn't so bad in this current setup, especially with jewel crafting and our chest piece, which I will show you shortly. Drape of the Deadly Foe drops off Kel'Thuzad, is really nice, and a really nice pickup. If anyone wants to go for an item quite early, this is really nice. All the stats we could want. Crit, haste, and attack power. Boom. Chestguard of the Recluse, absolutely stacked item. And an item that I will be putting quite high on my priority list as far as items go. Drops of Malagos, just like all good items in the game. And now we're putting our 68 JC attack power gem. Obviously the expertise here, 83 expertise, helps immensely for hitting soft cap. Sinner's Bindings. just standard. Really, really good. I believe these drop off Patchwork. No, Myexna. And only Myexna. A lot of these items, or some of the items in Naxxramas drop from multiple bosses. Sinner's Bindings is not one of them, and it only drops off Myexna. Sinister's Revenge drops off KT. Really, really nice. And Web Death in the offhands. We would obviously, because this is a slow main hand dagger, we'll put instant on it and we put deadly in our offhand. I know there is a school of thought, again, that double Web Death is better than Sinister's Revenge. I think that's just outdated information, and I think with the poison changes that we're going to get, instant poison normalization, Sinister's Revenge just pulls ahead quite substantially. But by no means, if you had heaps of Web Deaths, definitely pick one up, and it will tie you over really, really nicely until Sinister's Revenge. But basically why we don't go doubled Web Death, despite what a lot of other YouTubers and people will say, is because the faster the weapon, the less likely that instant poison will proc, and the slower the weapon, the more likely it is to proc. It's as simple as that. You can overcomplicate it, but really that's what it is. Something that is a little interesting that, again, we will have to test more is actually Web Death main hand, Sinister's Revenge offhand is simming higher. And again, this is all very experimental and theory crafted. We will have to wait for the beta to confirm. But this is because Mutilate has 2 chances to proc a main hand poison and 1 chance to proc an offhand poison. That is how it is in TBC, and we're just waiting to see if that is how it stays in Wrath of the Lich King. But yeah, that's basically the school of thought in a very boiled down version. I won't go into it. Maybe for another video, I'll go into a little bit more about the theory crafting behind that. But just know that, at the very least, slow main hand, fast offhand. Range weapon, Envoy of Mortality. Another KT weapon. Realistically, you're not going to be taking this off your hunters at all. And even if they have a bow off another boss, or the crossbow off the other boss, you're still going to be giving this to your hunters. And you should never, in any circumstance, no matter how good of a stat stick it is. Sure, if both hunters have it and there's a third one that drops, great. But really, there's Spinning Fate, which is a really, really solid alternative that you or the other rogue will just go for. So just take that. It's hardly a DPS downgrade at all, really. And it's all yours because it's a throwing weapon. Tier 7 gloves. Obviously, we have the engineering enchant on there. If you're on the fence about going engineering in Wrath, don't be. It is well worth it. And if you were going to focus on one profession to help you in the raid, let it be engineering. JC, not as big of a important profession to have. Engineering is almost mandatory in my eyes. It's just so good. Belt of the Tortured. Really, really nice. The hit rating helps a lot. Again, hitting that poison cap. Drops off Hagen the Unclean, and I believe one other boss that escapes me. But again, just like many of these items, they drop off a few different bosses. Tier 7 legs, and now that we sort of hit our expertise soft cap, we now just gem flat attack power. Dawnwalkers, again, really, really nice. Lots of stats. I believe these drop off. Definitely, I think it drops off more than one boss. I can't be sure. I know, I'm sorry. But just know that they're bis. Strong-handed ring, I know for sure drops off like 5 or 6 different bosses. But heaps of the really, really good stats that we do want. And Surge Needle ring, which drops off Malagos. Everybody's going to want this. GKPs, it's going to go big. You might even see some hard reserve runs. Ring of Invincibility from the Emblems of Valor seems really, really close. Not bis, but in the absence of a Surge Needle ring, this will do you really, really well. I think it's only about like 8 DPS difference between this and the Strong-Handed ring, so you could very well see yourself running Ring of Invincibility and Strong-Handed ring all of phase 1, and don't even sweat it. It's not that bad. And because it is so good, I would definitely recommend spending your Emblems of Valor on this item first. That way you don't have to spend it on the braces, because, you know, hopefully you're running Slayer 2 set, and then the only Emblems of Valor you need to spend anything on is the ring. Mirror of Truth. I know, shocking. Not Fury of the 5 Flights. Mirror of Truth is simming better. And then again, that is an Emblems of Heroism reward. And of course, the Crown Jewel Dark Moon card Greatness. Definitely BIS. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. It's definitely BIS. Insane amount of agility, which obviously converts to crit, attack power, the works. But again, if you did want to shell out the money for a Dark Moon card Greatness, you would then put in Fury of the 5 Flights. But you will be competing with the other rogues, Frost DK, maybe Hunters, and your Feral. Not too sure. I know your Ferals want Grim Toll, but I don't know if they want Fury as well. But again, that is the absolute BIS setup at the moment that is simming the highest. Some alternatives. Foot Wraps of the Vile Deceit. Really, really nice. Nice to hit our expertise cap as well, soft cap. And if either of Dawnwalkers or the Foot Wraps dropped, I would be happy. And Stalkskin Belt. Again, the only problem is not a lot of hit. So you would just need to appropriately adjust your gear setup to always make sure that you're hitting poison cap, rather. Just super important as Assassination, as the bulk of our damage does come from poisons. And of course, if you're wondering why there's no gem slot, it's because we're using an Eternal Belt Buckle that's made by blacksmiths. So always make sure that you're putting one of those on your belt, like I have here. And like I said, Fool's Trial is sort of the neck alternative if you weren't able to get the Malagos quest. Because again, only one person could do that every week, so not everyone's going to have it. Some more alternatives. Thrusting Bands sim quite close. I think it's about 10 or so DPS below Sinners, and then another 10 below Thrusting Bands is the Wrist Wraps of the Cutthroat that are from Emblems of Valor. Also, Dislocating Handguards are a solid pickup as well, because again, it's got hit and expertise, which is really, really important for, again, hitting those caps. But that is the list. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comment section. Do subscribe if you are enjoying this kind of Wrath content. It is all gas, no breaks with the Wrath content at the moment. So be sure to stick around, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. If you disagree with the list, make sure you like and tell me why. And if you agree with the list, like and tell me why. But until the next video, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.